Trent.
Hi, I'm Angela Fazio.
And I'm Kristen Cantrell, and this is Moms in Real Estate, Girl Educate Yourself.
Yes, this week's episode is Leila Woodard, and she had a crazy life event that made her reevaluate her whole business, and now she's doing less effort, less stress, and more production.
She's the definition of working smarter, not harder. So let's get started.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Hi,
Doing
Leila.
good. Hi. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I have been a broker owner for about 9 years. I closed my brokerage back in May. And I'm kind of in a phase of my life where I've kind of accomplished most of my goals with leadership and owning a brokerage. And now I'm in a different phase of my career, and I'm trying to do less and have more because of some things that happened exactly this time last year. I was in the hospital. I woke up one morning blind. I couldn't see anything. And I remained blind for 12 weeks. And I couldn't feel anything from the waist down. So I had temporary paralysis. And when it came down to it, it was all stress induced, which induced some autoimmune diseases. But it's something that completely changed my life, and really it became a priority to get myself better so I could be there for my kids. When I couldn't see my kids, it changed everything, and
I can't imagine that.
when I couldn't stand and hold them, everything changed. I had to rely on my husband to take care of me, to dress me, everything. So here I am today, a year later, and completely eliminated a lot of the things that I identified as stressors. And I'm doing a lot better health-wise, thanks to good daily activities that I do, nutrition and medication, now that I'm aware of the issues that I have. But I used to be the type of girl for the last almost 12 years that everybody said, you're the Energizer Bunny. You never run out of time. And I was literally waking up at 5 or 6 in the morning and going until like midnight, 1 in the morning every day without stopping. And that's stressful, and that was work related, but also with my kids, like activities, dropping off school, picking up. I was just doing way more than any person should do in a day. And I think as moms, we have trouble saying no. And that was definitely a problem that I had. So just really coming to a point in your life where you lose everything really has changed the way that I have done my business. So
I'm hoping that you can give our audience some practical tips and tricks on how did you get there? How were you able to kind of scale back what you needed to scale back and still do production? So I don't want to get to the point where you did, but I sure would love to know your tips and tricks about how you did scale back and stay productive.
Yeah, so when I got sick, I had 18 transactions in escrow. Really, no one knew what was going on in my business except my TC and myself. And even the TC didn't have all the nitty gritty details. So one thing is to never get to this point, but write a lot more information down on all of your files. So if you do get sick, someone can jump in and help you. I had to hire 5 people to literally do the one job that I was doing. And so learning to delegate is probably the first step, have people available to you, and also take care of yourself. When you're running from thing to thing, you're overlooking all the red flags and warning signs that your body's giving you because you're going too fast. You just ignore it, so don't ignore it. Take some time for yourself every day. I do meditation. I took some classes on it back in April, and I do that almost every day. So that's very important. And then just identify what your stressors are, and try to eliminate them if you can. For me, I like to help people. I owned a brokerage, so helping agents 24/7 was time consuming, and it really wasn't giving me very much. And I found that I can still help people, but on my own time. So that's what I did. I closed my brokerage, and I don't have to help 30 agents 24/7 now. That eliminated a lot of stress. I still can teach classes and do things like this if I choose to, but I can also say no. So when I was a broker owner, I couldn't do that. I had to be there for them. The other thing is I was really involved in leadership. And I identified that was another stressor, and it isn't for everybody. And leaders are important, but I had trouble saying no. So I did everything in leadership. And so just scaling back and just kind of being in a more support role, supporting new leaders is kind of where I'm at now, which has been really amazing, kind of passing on the baton and, being there to support them, but not doing it. So that's a big thing. And now I can just focus on my business. So I'm just a normal associate broker agent now. And the only time that I spend outside of my home is meeting clients for buyer consults, showings, and listing appointments. And I'm not wasting my time on anything else. I used to work about 100 hours a week, and now I work outside my home about 15 hours a week. And it's primarily, my work schedule is afternoons and evenings on the weekdays, and then some weekends. But during the day, since COVID, I've had to turn my home into a school. And yeah. So I've had to be there for my autistic son, Rowan, who's 5. He previously, before COVID, was kicked out of 3 different schools because of his behaviors. So I actually had to hire a teacher, but because of his behaviors, I have to be available to separate him if he's going to start hitting someone or being violent. So I've had to reprioritize everything in my life for myself and for our family. Everybody has with COVID, but this happened before that. So just taking a look at your daily activities, anything that doesn't bring you joy, that's stressful, maybe take a look at it and maybe remove it temporarily and see if it should be removed permanently. And
I have a question for you though. So do you feel like if you hadn't woken up and couldn't see and you had that where you couldn't walk as well, do you feel like you would have just kept going? And like, do you feel like you would have never gotten to this point? Yeah.
I would have kept going. And that's really what changed my perspective. My doctors told me if I continued how I was, it would have killed me. If I didn't make the changes and see the doctors that I did, it would have killed me. I was 37, so that's too young to die. And I have a lot of people counting on me to be in their life. So I had to, make a 100% life change, and it's been for the better. So really delegating, screening clients. I used to just jump when someone would call me. I don't do that now. I have a system. Everybody goes through a buyer consult or a listing consultation face to face, and then it determines if I want to work with them or not. Or if they need to be put in the calendar to revisit a conversation in 6 months or a year if they're not ready. But I used to just start showing them houses, and just doing crazy stuff. And I'm only working with referral clients now, not working with strangers, and I think that's helped a lot. And then a lot of people contact me and they're totally priced out of the market now, so not trying to find, that unicorn for them is also helpful, because they can't buy right now, so just prioritizing time for myself has been really beneficial. I'm still selling the same or more homes. I'm just selling more expensive homes, and I'm selling homes quicker, because my time is valuable. So I'm not wasting time with people right now.
So if I had to summarize what I've learned from what you've said, it's you've got to say no to things in your life that aren't what you say, like it brings you joy or is working towards your goal, or somehow a positive influence, just because you feel like you have to say no. You have to work as a center of influence so that you can get to a place where you're working for referral business only, and really just pay attention to what your body is saying to you, so that our audience never has to experience the tragedy that you did.
No, I don't want anybody to have to go through what I did. I want people to learn. Someone told me, if you don't take a day off, your body will choose a day off for you. And that's so true, and totally happened that way. It probably happened at the busiest time. And, the year prior, I felt like I was on autopilot, just going from thing to thing to thing. I felt like I might have been present, but maybe I wasn't, just running, and like running a marathon, even the phone calls, like talk to someone, hang up, that's stressful, so, making certain times to make those phone calls, do your business, setting and time blocking your schedule, all those things have helped me. So I'm not stressed out, because stress is a trigger for, I have mast cell disease, POTS, and EDS. So they all trigger bad reactions. So
I don't think it was a coincidence that you ran like crazy for 12 years and then your body made you take 12 weeks off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
That's insane. Yeah. We really appreciate you sharing your story with us. And I think that in real estate, there's so many people that you're going to bless that are like on autopilot. I mean, it's definitely like a lot of women running a business and then also like having kids at home, and you are go starting at 5 a.m. So I'm really glad you shared that story. And do you have anything else to say?
Well, I just want to encourage women to find that happy medium. Don't use having a family as an excuse not to be prosperous in a business, but don't run yourself so ragged that your body just shuts down on you. So thank you again, Leila. I want to invite our audience to join us in watching Moms in Real Estate. Our podcast that goes live on Thursdays is in YouTube and also on iTunes. And we will see you next week with another wonderful guest.
All right. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.